G'day guys, and welcome to Retrospectreviews. I'm Vince, and I've just returned from travelling overseas. I went to the UK for holidays via Singapore, and I managed to visit a couple of retro stores while I was there. Now I was mainly searching for big box games, but I only really found some in the UK. But this is going to be a two-parter. So this week we are looking at a store in Singapore, and that is Retronutz. So please forgive me for the bad video. I tried to get as best I could. I'm going to do some commentary over the top of it, explain what I was looking at, and what I thought of the store. So without any further ado, let's jump into Retronutz in Singapore. Right, here we are outside. Now sorry for the bad camera work here, but hopefully it's still watchable. But as you see, we're outside Retronutz, and I'll put the address on the screen and underneath. As you can see, some really cool stuff here in the window. Very enticing. If I could have brought it all, I would have. But very nice selection of Game Boys here. Now I'm not sure if all these are original or have been done, but as you'll see here, I did see some Game & Watches, and I was just pointing them out to my wife there, saying how cool they are. Here's some more cool Game Boy stuff. It's some of the stuff was just really cool. I was going to inquire how much the Famicom Mini was, but I totally forgot. I was just so overwhelmed of the quality of the stuff in this store, which you will see. Look at those in-box Pokemon Game Boys there. Just so much Pokemon stuff. If you're into Pokemon, you would love this store. And this is the entrance here. As you can see, here's a little bit more of the inside near the entrance. Lots of Game Boys and old classic retro LCDs. Now this is the section I really came to this store to see, and this is all the Game & Watches. Now some of these I do have, but the one I really wanted to get was Octopus, which I used to own, but it went missing. I was really upset when I could not find that when I went back to get it. Everyone didn't know where it went. I had it in a safe spot, but somewhere along the line it disappeared. Here we are, more Game Boys, Game Boy stuff. Pretty cool. All this stuff is in I don't know if he cleans it when he gets it, but it is in Mickey Mouse shape. And the prices are not too bad. But as this was the beginning of my holidays, I didn't really want to pick up too much. We still had to get to England. And over here you can see here is some Famicom boxes and some PS2 stuff there. Really nice. There's some more Game Boy stuff. And back to over this side. So he's pretty much got a bit of everything, and I don't know where he finds everything that is in such pristine. I don't know, maybe it's just how well people in Singapore look after their gear. Maybe he buys it from Japan. I know the Japanese people look after their electronic stuff really well, so he could have collected it all from all over. But yeah, we don't see too often stuff of this quality here in Australia, which is a shame. Over here is, I think this was Mega Drive, if I remember right, because I was trying to see if they had a copy and Master System. Here we are, I'm having a look at I think this was Master System, yeah. And look at the quality of the casing here. So if you're after really original, good quality Master System games, Game Boy games, anything like that, this is the store for you. Probably bring a suitcase that is empty. If I had a big enough bank balance and the affordability to ship this all back to my home in Australia, I would have definitely purchased a heap of this stuff. So here's some PS5 So that you'll find a bit of everything for everybody here. Now these fascinated me. I wasn't sure 100% what system this was for. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure if that was for the Famicom or a different system. But that looks pretty cool. I've never seen that one before. So here we are, some loose Famicom games, some loose Super Nintendo, and controllers, original controllers, some Hello Kitty skincare there. I think that was, I forget which one that was for, but yeah. I'll try not to talk too much, just let you watch it here, but don't want complete sound. So you can buy the tools, you can buy some bits and pieces, bits and parts and that. I was looking for some maybe upgrading to an original Game Boy new screen, but I kind of got a bit carried away, like I said, and I was just so overwhelmed I didn't actually see. There's my wife's hand having a look at some stuff, probably putting things back to where I kind of moved things because the store was so neat and tidy. And there's a couple of MSX boxes, and I believe these they were just little LCD games. So there's plenty there, and here's some loose stuff. Now I wasn't sure if this was all original or there was a mixture of the AliExpress knockoff stuff, because I did find some stuff. These look original, but I did find some stuff that was. Here's the Mario Parties. I would have brought all three Mario Parties 1, 2, and 3, but I wasn't sure if these ones would work, and I guess it's a bit hard to play if you don't actually speak Japanese, so I left them there. But these ones, I think these might have been the Amazon knockoff. Yeah, great filming there. There's a Pikachu peeking through there. But yeah, if I do eventually bring the camera down a bit so you can actually see what I'm looking at, but these all look like AliExpress kind of knockoff. They had that kind of cartridge. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about this. But yeah, a lot of those did look like that. Unfortunately, as I said at the beginning of this video, my filming is absolutely horrendous here. I'm shooting everything but what I'm looking at the moment. So I was just going through. I was tempted to pick this Bugsby cartridge up, but I think it was a knockoff. But I was actually after Acrobat, the first Acrobat game for the Mega Drive. So I didn't really need that, so I just put it back. But like I said, I think they were knockoffs. So, and yeah, let's hope. Yeah, so there's some PSP games, some Nintendo games. Now I'm assuming the PSP, I don't know if anyone's ever done knockoffs of the PSP, but there was plenty there. But I didn't really look at those because I was really after big box games. So I wasn't really looking to pick up any console stuff on this trip because I got plenty of it already, and I just really wanted big box games, but I didn't really see much of PC or retro big box games here in Singapore. There was the MSX games there, but that was about it. The other thing I was thinking about picking up was some Dreamcast games, because I do have a Japanese Dreamcast and I've only got 2 games for it, but I once again was overwhelmed with everything here. Here's some Atari games. I don't know what the deal was with this box. There was just some loose Atari games and a couple of Game Boy games. I don't know, it was just, he just had a box and he just threw stuff in. This didn't seem as organised as most of the store was, so I've got to give him a little leeway there, because the store is fantastically laid out. And so all the good stuff is in these glass cabinets. So there's some N64 games, controllers there. Now I did have these statues as well. Oh, I did have statues as well, but yeah, look, there's some more Mega Drive stuff, some Sega CD there, more PS5 stuff. I think that was PS Vita, I think, actually. And here we are. This is what was this again? Neo Geo, sorry. Yeah, so big box of Neo Geos there, really nice. Here's some consoles, or some more Super Nintendo, which once again not really was looking for, but there, as you can see, there's some PS1s there, all cleaned, and he puts them in wrap so they stay nice and clean. But yeah, there was some really tempting stuff here, but like I said, which I'm repeating myself and just waffling on here, I was still traveling, so I couldn't really pick up too much. But yeah, there is stuff in box. So as you can see there, there's a loose Wii, but yeah, I was so tempted to pick so much of this up. And there's a Dreamcast there. There's a I forget what part. There's a Neo Geo. There, PC Engine. Sorry, I was very tempted to pick one of these up. That was 129 Singapore dollars, which I think is about 140 Australian dollars at the time of filming this. I'm not sure what some of these prices are in different currency. If I remember, I'll put them on the screen. But as you can see there, the boxes are really nice. Now this is another one I was tempted to pick up because I thought I've got a Famicom knockoff, but I would like to get a real Famicom, and I was tempted to buy that, but I didn't. And here, this is I forget what this was. We had two of them. So if you know what that is, let me know in the comments. I can't remember off the top of my head. Here's a Sega Mega Drive. I was tempted to buy this as well. I've got one of these, but the video out needs to be fixed on it. It's just a loose plug socket. And over here is a arcade machine. Didn't have it running, so I don't know if it's just he turned it off because arcade machines can get a bit annoying if you're sitting in your shop on your own. Here he had some models that you could buy. I think they were all mech models, and more gaming stuff. I think that was PC Engine maybe. But yeah, all in fantastic condition. The only drawback, you can't really pick them up and look at the back of some of this stuff, but you know how expensive it is. That's a Saturn, I think. Sega Saturn games. I think we got Xbox there. And there's some PS2 maybe. And back down to Sega. So I am trying to get everything, but yeah, there was so much. You could spend I could spend the whole day there just looking at everything. He'd probably kick me out. But probably something you should keep in mind. I might mention this later. It is open from 12, so midday onwards. I'm not sure what time. Probably closes about 6 o'clock or something like that. So yeah, and over here there's some more cool boxed PS2s. Yeah, it was Xbox 360 there, I think. Xbox One. This would have been cool. I remember I've only ever seen these in magazines, so this is the first time I've seen one in real life. So that was pretty cool. I think that came. I forget if it could work on PC or just worked on console, but it's a dual joystick, so you can work a mech in a mech game. But yeah, and then there's the Dreamcast steering wheel. And here we are back to where we started from, some PS2 stuff. I'm having another look here. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm back into the glass here. This is the Xbox stuff. And some Nintendo Switch stuff there. And back there's a Famicom up there. So it's got if you're after anything, this bloke here would have them. Now I didn't. I had a quick conversation with him about the Octopus game. It was a little bit out of my price range. It was 300, between 350 and 400 Singapore dollars, which again I think is probably about, say if it was say 350, it'd probably be about 370 Australian dollars, and that was in box and in really nice condition. Even the box was nice. You could, I think he said it's a little bit cheaper for one on its own, but not by much. I think if you're going to buy one, you had the money, I'll definitely go for one that came with the box and the manual. Maybe down the track, if I end up back in Singapore and I've got the money, I definitely will be going back to get one of those Octopus games, and maybe a few more. Maybe I'll do a special trip just to Singapore to grab that all. Well, that's it for this video. What did you think of Retronutz? Now, if you're in Singapore or planning on going to Singapore and you're into the retro scene, definitely worth stopping by and checking out. Everything is in Mickey Mouse condition, so if you're looking for that particular game or console that is in really nice condition, go and check out Retronutz. But next week is part 2 of this trip overseas, and I'll be visiting a game in Birmingham called Entertainment World, another excellent hidden gem. So if you're in the UK or you're traveling to the UK, put this on your itinerary to go and check out. You'll definitely thank me later. So if you want to catch that, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and don't forget to like and share, because it really does help out the channel. Well, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next week for the UK Birmingham Entertainment World video. Bye!
Pack my bags, cross the sea, chasing pixels like destiny. Crazy trip, yeah, that's the news. Flew to Singapore for retro views. Boogies hunt, small arcade beams, Game Boy deals and cartridge dreams. Jet lag strong, but passion rules. Retro treasure fuels, Retrospectreviews, retro fever, worldwide clues. Travel far just to relive all hues. Long haul flights for joystick